Hi, my name's Tom Morrison. I'm the fitness coordinator here at the Bradley Wellness Center. And as the fitness coordinator, one of the things that we have found is the most common concern for a lot of our members is a desire to either build up, get stronger, or lose fat, or both. Well, I have with me today Emily Hurlbut and Isaiah Morgan, and they are both personal trainers here at the Wellness Center, but they're also something else. They're both practitioners of what they do. These two have both competed in bodybuilding and figure competitor type shows and have made outstanding body transformations themselves. So since we have the privilege to be able to talk to them today, we thought we would find out exactly how it is that the bodybuilding lifestyle differs from other people, because we recognize that bodybuilders know how to hold on to muscle and build it and lose body fat and create that kind of lean, healthy look that so many of us desire. So, Isaiah,
yes.
Tell me, what is it that got you into bodybuilding?
Just sports in general, just sports throughout high school, and enjoying working out, being in the gym. And when high school sports ended, you know, I needed a new outlet for being competitive, so I just took up weights, and it was just working out at first.
Well, when I saw your before picture, you didn't look like you were necessarily in the kind of shape that you're in now.
Yeah, well,
so did sports not get you into this kind of condition?
well, no, it's a different level when you want to compete against bodybuilders. It's one thing to be in shape and look fit. It's another thing to step on stage against people who are competing with their physiques. It's a whole new level.
Well, Emily, how about you? I know you were involved with sports too.
Yes.
But I saw your before picture too, and you know, it didn't look quite as amazing as it did in the after shot.
Right. Well, after graduating, you get into everyday life, and you know, you aren't as active as you once were in college with the sports and running and playing soccer, and I ate the way that I did in college. So I had gained about 30 pounds after
Wow.
I graduated. I had never really lifted with weights, and I was actually encouraged by a couple other coworkers at the time that my physique and body type was that for bodybuilding, and that I should try it. I was very unsure at first, but I started to enjoy the weights and progressed from there.
If you didn't have a competition to prepare for, do you think you could get in that kind of a great condition?
I don't think so. I'm sure I could get in better condition for a vacation or something, but knowing that I'm going to step on stage with very little covering my body and going to be critiqued, it'll push you to another level.
So when people look at pictures of a figure competitor or a bodybuilder on stage, is that something that they should aspire to in their everyday life? I mean, is that a look you can maintain?
No.
So this is like just a polished, finished, at the very end. What does it take to get to that level? How many weeks does it take to get yourself from where you are to being finished and show ready, picture ready, the way that you are in those contests, or the way that you were in those after pictures?
For me, it took me 16 weeks, which is about 4 months, and or maybe it was 12.
More than 3 months.
More
Anyway.
than 3 months. But honestly, I was told that is a very long period of time to prepare for a show. Most of the time you prepare in a shorter amount of time, but at the same time, most people, stay in, shape for a show. So there's not a whole lot to tweak or change, but I had a lot more work to do.
So what is it? What's the usual amount that a person gets, say, out of shape? I mean, how many extra pounds is there to lose to get into that really picture perfect condition?
Oh, that's all over the board. But the rule of thumb for competitors is to stay, I'd say, 15 to 25 pounds from contest weight.
Is that true for ladies too?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So most of the time you're looking at 15 to 25 pound weight loss.
Yeah.
And how long do you take to do it?
Well, I didn't. I had to diet for 16 to 20 weeks, and that's because I had 40 pounds to lose.
So you lose 40 pounds.
Yeah, but the next time I compete, I'll be a lot closer to my contest weight, and I won't diet as long. Like Emily had mentioned, you shouldn't have to diet that long. You lose some muscle.
And you lost how much?
It totaled to about 30 pounds.
So you lost about 30 pounds, and you lost about 40 pounds. And you did it in how long? 20 weeks?
About 20 weeks.
And you did it in about 16?
Yeah.
So we're talking about a pound a week or a little bit more.
Yeah.
Pound and a half on some weeks,
Yeah.
Was there ever any weeks that you didn't lose anything and you started to get worried?
Yeah. Closer in, it takes more to get that last little bit off of you, and I started getting discouraged. But with the support around me, I was encouraged to, rather than look at the pounds lost and looking at the scale, to really focus on how I was looking as far as my body goes, rather than the actual weight loss on the scale.
So scale doesn't always tell you how in shape you are.
No.
It's misleading. It's body composition that matters. Body fat percentage to the muscle you carry, the ratio of that. And the scale can't determine
Do you
that.
use pictures too of yourself as you're getting ready, or
absolutely.
just mirrors, how you look in the mirror?
Mirrors, pictures, critiques from other competitors. So
I know for me, I didn't necessarily see the change in the mirror day to day, week to week, but as I took progression pictures, you could see the difference, because it's completely different looking in the mirror every day at yourself rather than at a picture and side by side.
Well, you're telling me that when you were in college, you were 30 pounds lighter, right?
Yes.
And then you gained weight because you just did like most of us do. You work, you have a job, you continue to eat but you're not exercising like you did.
Yeah.
But you said that you didn't do weight training when you were in college. So did you look for this show like you did when you were in college?
No. In college, I had a lot more lower body muscle because I played soccer.
So muscle's not bad even for a girl.
No.
Weight training was part of what it took to get into that kind of shape?
Yeah.
Not all women know that, I wouldn't guess. Well, I think a lot of women think that you should just go on a diet and start to run or walk or do some kind of cardio to get in that kind of shape. But you're saying no.
No.
weights are very important, and I think kind of an old school way of thinking is muscles on women is unattractive, but that's fading out, and I think muscles are starting to be an attractive thing, and just because you use weights doesn't mean you're going to look like a man one day. It's very misleading to think that.
Well, how much did you lift weights? Did you lift every single day?
Oh, for the show?
Yeah.
Yes, I lifted 5, sometimes 6 days a week, cardio 6 days a week, and I got 1 day off.
So you're exercising every day, sometimes twice a day?
Yes.
Did you do every body part every day?
Yes. I varied between, depending on what I needed to focus more on. I had a lot of upper body to build to match my lower body. So I ended up usually doing upper body twice a week.
So you didn't do it every day? You just would kind of pick different body parts each day?
I picked a different body part each day and focused on that.
How about you?
I used weights about 6 days a week.
So about the same.
Yeah.
Is that common for most bodybuilders?
I think so. You'd have to be sensitive to your body. If you're not recovering, just, stay out of the gym. But if you're recovered and ready to go, pick on the body part that's fresh. And I would do cardio about 6 days a week, 2 times a day, once in the morning, once in the evening, and then a weight training session. And the last week of the show, sometimes I would do 3 cardio sessions a day, just trying to bring in that last bit of detail and lose water.
Did you find that doing this extra cardio and stuff was making you really tired? I mean, did it make the weight training suffer? And
you lose strength, but you stay tired because you're at such a calorie deficit, and you're doing tricks with carbs, so you're not having the natural energy you get from carbs, so you stay tired, and it kind of affects your personality a little bit. And it affects work a little bit.
So let's talk about diet for a little bit then for a minute. You guys are ramping up your activity, it sounds like, as you get closer to the show, and yet you're cutting back your calories. So that sounds like it'd be pretty hard. How did you feel as you're
I was very drained.
getting in better and better shape?
Like he said, you're doing all these tricks with carbs and, the different types of foods you're intaking.
What kind of trick? Let me hear a trick or two. Let's hear a trick of how to use carbs to get you leaner.
I like carb cycling, so you may have 4 days of moderate carbs, different for different body types and different weights, and then you may have 3 days where you have low carbs or no carbs, and the first day's not that bad. By the third day, you can't get along with yourself or anybody else.
You're totally craving anything that has a carbohydrate in it.
And then when you get your carb day back, you can tell you feel a lot better. So
do you just gorge on carbs? Do you feel that cravings completely mess you up?
No.
How do you stay with it? Is it just the fact that you had the competition that made you want to stick with it?
Yeah, when you've committed to a date to walk on stage, that's a lot of pressure, and it's a good thing. It's a good pressure. It'll push you to a new level somewhere that you wouldn't be able to get without it. So that's another reason I don't recommend that everyone want to walk around that way, because it's just something to do for a certain period of time, a week or two, and make sure you take pictures, because you're not going to stay that way.
How far do you think, what do you think somebody could do on a day-to-day basis? How close do you think that a person could get as part of a lifestyle without having to? Within 10 or 15 pounds of that? Is that what you're thinking? Or 20 pounds of that?
I've seen some genetic body types that are very lean all the time and look really good. For most people, I think if they could get down to 10% body fat and see some ab detail.
Women too?
Women too.
10% body fat?
Women a little higher.
I think for my show, I was sitting somewhere close to 10 to 12%. On a normal off season, probably 15 to 20.
15 to 20 for girls, and maybe
that's lean.
10 to 15 for guys.
That's healthy looking. So
a little more body fat for the women.
Yeah. Yes. They're allowed it.
Doesn't look bad?
No.
But you can do that with just eating a moderately clean diet. Maybe have one cheat a week.
What do you mean by clean? What's a clean diet?
Good carbs, complex carbs, lean protein. No junk food, no fried food, no sugars, no soft drinks, no sports drinks, just mainly water.
Do you have to map out everything that you're going to eat and measure every calorie if you really want to get into this kind of lean condition? Is that necessary?
Yeah.
That's the success of the whole. That's the hard part, and that's where success comes from.
Is really just being very meticulous about it
and planning.
Mm-hmm.
So most bodybuilders are very meticulous about this stuff.
Yes, and you're not going to accidentally come up with these kind of gains and results. It's very planned, but the thing is after you get it down to an art and you practice it, then it becomes a routine and a habit. And when you mention lifestyle, it turns into a lifestyle that you don't really think about. You already know what your meals are going to be for the next day. So
and you can start to eyeball things, maybe in terms of portions and that kind of thing.
Definitely. It gets a lot easier.
Yeah. Now, in the off season, I would eyeball things. Now, closer to contest time, I'm going to get back to being very meticulous.
Do you even weigh out stuff?
Yeah. You can't do a contest without a food scale. No question.
Wow.
If you don't weigh your food, what you're eating, you're guessing. So.
And there's no guessing in any of this, huh?
No. Just
everything, weight training and diet and all that together. Did you have any cravings?
Oh, yeah. What, peanut butter?
What were your cravings?
Peanut butter.
Peanut butter?
I would be driving down the road, and typically I don't eat fast food. Doesn't sound appetizing. It never smelled good. But you would drive by and you could smell the fries, you could smell the hamburger, and you would just go nuts because you're not having those things. And one thing for me especially was I'm not much of a sweet eater. I loved my carbs, and
Well, carbs are sweets, right?
Yes.
well, yes.
So what kind of carbs did you love?
I loved the pastas
Bread.
and the breads. Those were my favorites. But during the
Can you have that if you're
prep-
losing weight?
Yeah. Your
But
body.
not so much?
Not so much. I typically.
And some days maybe not? If you're cycling them, like you say?
No. Then it's no carbs are good on those days.
Yeah. But during the contest, or preparation, where normally I wouldn't eat sweets or crave them, those were things that anything sweet, anything that was chocolatey, or, just, I would crave it so bad. And I had this whole list of everything I wanted to eat after my show, and they were all sweets. And I don't usually eat that, so it's definitely interesting.
How about you? Did you have cravings like that too?
Oh yeah, peanut butter was my big obstacle, and I couldn't buy it. I couldn't have it in the house. I would even find food that was hidden in the house. You just gain an incredible sense of smell when you're dieting, and you have to watch what you eat. But I did what she did. I had a whole list of every kind of Reese product that there is. And when the contest was over, I think I ate till like 3 in the morning.
Oh my gosh.
But
Well, that doesn't sound too healthy.
No, and it's not. But then when you have that food, you're like, this is overrated. This is not as good as I thought it was going to be. So
your mind's playing tricks on you a little
you
bit.
just want what you can't have. So
Do you have any tricks for how to deal with that when you're trying to prepare?
you have any?
I do. My big go-to was the sugar-free icebreakers, the strawberry ones, and I would have one.
Is that like a candy or something?
It's like I guess it's kind of supposed to be like a mint type thing. I don't know. But I would have one of those a day
To get the sweet?
to get the sweet craving. But again, closer on in, you have to really be careful with that. And so.
I don't think I had any tricks. I just, I caved in a few times and did some stuff I shouldn't have done.